Hello, this is Jim Hollinger. This is another training video from the Financial Freedom Educational Center. I am the national trainer, and this is an instructional video. It's going to be a little bit more informal than what we're used to. What I'm going to teach you today is the 4 pillars of financial freedom overview. This is the slide presentation you can use for recruiting a new agent and or showing an individual how it works. And I'll be explaining that as we go. The first slide that you see is designed for agents. And so you just look at it, read it, follow it, and it's for agents that are looking for a change or an individual who's looking for a way to make some extra money. The opening slide is right here, and this is an animated slide, and what you're going to see is when you click the button, things are going to start to happen. So you're going to want to talk about it, about money that's going to cost you in the end. Our mission statement is to help people protect, preserve, and maximize their estate. Now you want to get the timing involved in this so that you understand how it works. This is where you would start if you were starting a presentation for clients. First slide here talks about where they are in life. Are you debt free? Are you ready for retirement? Do you have million-dollar grandchildren? When was the last time you updated your will? These are all important questions for the financial freedom team and for the client to be able to answer. Did you know that in your lifetime that you're going to earn $1 to $2 million? This is a family that makes $25,000 a year for the husband and the wife, which many people make more, some people make less, but this is the average in the United States. 1/3 of that money is yours. 1/3 of that money goes to pay taxes. 1/3 of that money goes to pay interest. Now, the money that's yours determines your lifestyle. Where you live, the kind of car you drive, the house you live in. Taxes are taxes that are out of your check every week, but they're the taxes that are paid on your wealth, taxes you pay when you die. So these are lifetime taxes. And then 1/3 of the income goes to pay interest. Now what's interesting about the interest one is this is where you voluntarily choose to pay somebody else your money. The challenge that we have is that all these buckets have holes in them. And what we're going to be teaching you is how to plug the holes to increase your lifestyle, to increase your retirement account. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how this all works, because getting out of debt is not the flip of a coin. It's a choice that you make. Yeah, you may get lucky and win the lottery, but you know what the odds are of that. So what you have to do is decide what you're going to do with your $1 to $2 million. A lot of people end up at retirement and they've got maybe $50,000, $30,000, $100,000 in their retirement account. They go, where did all the money go? What we are going to do is we're going to teach you some things about money that you do not know. The first thing we want to talk about is the first pillar. The first pillar is to eliminate debt. If you can eliminate debt, that's going to free up 1/3 of the money that you are using in the wrong way. The average person in the United States is $200,000 in debt. That includes credit cards, mortgage debt, student loans, auto loans, all the debt that people have. How do we get into debt in the first place? We find a house we'd like to have. We say, how much is it? And they say, $200,000. You go, boy, I don't have that much money in my wallet. The realtor says to you, well, look, we can get financing for this. You put it on a 30-year mortgage, and it's going to be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Oh, I can afford that. Or we look at a car, and the car is $25,000, $35,000. And we say, boy, I don't have that much money in my pocket. And they tell you, well, look, we can finance that car for $199 or $250 a month. And you say, I can afford that. And so we put ourselves into debt. We resign ourselves to the fact that we're going to have payments. What we're going to do is show you a way to pay off all that debt in 1/3 to 1/2 the time without refinancing, without increasing your existing payments. And that is all of your debt, not just your mortgage. Let's take a look here at an example. This couple here is $198,000 in debt. You'll notice they just bought their house. Now I'm talking about the top graph up here on the left. They're $198,000 in debt. They're going to pay back $243,000 in interest. I leave off the cents. Okay, I just use round numbers because people's eyes will start to water if you get them all hooked up in the numbers. The total payback is going to be $441,000. We ran the free analysis for them. This is what the results can be if they choose. pay off in 108 months, paying back $71,000 in interest, or a total of $272,000. Now, if you go to the bottom of the page, it gives us the results more specific. They're going to save 251 payments and months to getting out of debt. The total interest they're going to pay back is $71,000 instead of $243. They're going to save $172,000 in interest. Now, do you think people can get excited about that? Well, it's not going to happen. The reason they're going to say is it sounds too good to be true. And so you've really got to do a job here in explaining and educating people on how money works. But the presentation here is not the time for that. All we're doing is laying the foundation to show them what they don't know so that they'll be ready to follow you. The second pillar of financial freedom is building wealth. Let's take a look at that last couple here. The top chart shows you when they're going to be debt-free following the plan they're on. 30 years, just in time to retire. The second one shows how we're going to be able to take debt and turn it into wealth. That's what we're going to do. Take debt, turn it into wealth. And so the choice is, top chart, retire in 30 years, paying off the house. You see, we've resigned ourselves to the fact that we've got a 30-year mortgage and it's going to take 30 years to pay it off. We're going to change people's thinking. We're going to take that debt and we're going to turn it into wealth so that when they retire, they can have $1 million account with only 6% interest. If they get 2%, they'll have a $600,000 account. At 4%, they'll have an $800,000 account. The choice is theirs. All we do is educate them on how they can do this. We do use some tools. The tools we use are, for this, think of it as a financial GPS. It's going to guide you to pay off debt. It's going to help people save for retirement. It's going to keep them focused. It's going to keep them on track. It's also going to be able to, it'll be able to help them to figure out the cost of using money for something else. The other thing we're going to do is teach people how money works and how banks work. Why is it the largest building in cities have a bank's name on it? Because that's where the money is. Banks pay interest to earn interest, and we're going to go through this. And when you do the PowerPoint, you got to get used to the clicks and how to show this. I show them in order, one at a time. Banks pay under 3% to borrow money. Then they turn around and double their money or more, and they earn interest by loaning money out at 6%, 12%, 18%, 24%. And then the other thing they do is they get money from you, from your checking, your savings, your CDs. They borrow your money, and sometimes it doesn't cost them anything. Then they turn around and they say, oh, would you like a loan? Third pillar is legacy planning. If you retire a millionaire and you're accumulating this wealth, there are some other things that start to happen in your life that are very important. When was the last time you updated your will? Do you understand using smart money? We're going to teach you that. If I said to you, would you rather have your money tax deductible, tax deferred, or tax free, what would you tell me? Well, you'd say tax free. Well, that's a good idea, but that isn't the way that it works. 98% of you have your money in vehicles that are tax deductible and tax deferred because nobody has taught you, nobody has showed you the difference and why you might want to take a look at that and say, am I doing the smartest thing with my money? Can you look at your kids? Can you look at your grandkids and say, my grandkids, my kids are going to have $1 million one day? We can show you how to set up the $1 million baby account, how you can guarantee that they will for the price of a cup of coffee a day. You're going to want to take a look at how courts work, how probate works. If you pass away without a will, and I said to you, who do you want to have your money? You would say, my loved ones, my kids, my grandkids. And I said, how much would you want to leave them? Well, you'd say, well, I want to leave it all to them. Well, that's a nice idea, but it doesn't work like that because of probate. So here you're going to be showing people, follow the red arrows. If you die without a will, your estate's going to go through probate. Left at the end of probate is what your heirs are going to get. And there's going to be a cost for probate. The second part is what happens if you pass away with a will. When you pass away with a will, you have an executor inside the probate system, and that executor is going to do a lot of work saving your heirs money, and then what's left is going to go to the heirs. If you have a will, then you've got somebody on the inside who's doing most of the work, and that runs in different states 5 to 10% of the estate. So if you've got $300,000, you're looking at $30,000 going to somebody you don't even know. Is there a way to eliminate that cost? Yes, there is, by using what's called a living trust. You actually take your estate, place it inside the trust, appoint one of your kids or somebody you trust, that's the key word here, somebody you trust, to take your estate and disperse it according to your instructions. They have a legal responsibility to do that, and then they give out and disperse the money according to theirs. Now, this can be your kids doing this. It could be one of them doing this. Somebody who understands money can get the job done. The fourth pillar is retirement planning. You can look at people and say, are you ready for your retirement? Do you have a clear understanding of your government retirement benefits? Do you know how Social Security works? Do you know how Medicare works? These things are all important, and we offer an analysis with every one of these pillars that will help you through it. You need to understand how that money works. You need to understand the spousal impoverishment law. You need to know that people can lose their home if they go into a nursing home. They can lose their house. It happens every day. But there are things that they can do to prevent that. There are things that they can do to take care of that. They can take their money, smart money, and put it to work for them to give them that extra coverage and that extra protection without having to pay for it in a monthly sum like a lot of people do. Where do you go from here? Well, the next thing you want to do is you want to take the 4-pillar survey. We're not trying to sell you anything. We are trying to educate you. The 4-pillar survey is going to show you the things you may not know. It takes 5 minutes. You go through the survey, you check the boxes of the things that you're interested in, and it covers the 4 areas: debt elimination, turning debt to wealth, legacy planning, and retirement planning. All of us fall into some of these areas. Some of us fall into all of them. Some of us fall into one. Some of us fall into 2. But whatever is most important to you is where you want to start. We offer a free analysis with every one of those pillars. Debt elimination. When can you be out of debt? You know, we talk about these people who are getting out of debt in 10 years and saving this money. What you want to know is, how long is it going to take you? How much are you going to save? When it comes to turning debt into wealth, how much money do you want when you retire? Does $1 million enough? There are people that's not enough money. There are some people that would love to have $1 million. That's why they buy a lottery ticket. Trying to plan your life without a plan is like building a house without a plan. It's just not going to come out right. Free illustration on legacy planning, a free retirement analysis, how to maximize your Social Security. Did you know that by filing as a couple, husband and wife, the average couple can increase their income $250,000 to $500,000? The next thing you want to know is the retirement analyzer. How long will the money you have last? If you follow the plan that we share with you, you will have more money earned per year during your retirement years than you did when you were working. Or you can become a Walmart greeter. The choice is up to you. Give us a call. We'd be glad to share the information. Get back with the person and we'll be glad to help you. Now, you folks can change the numbers here. You can change your phone number. You can change the email address. This is your presentation. If you're talking to an agent, you want to keep going because you want to talk about insurance agents, how you can help people become an insurance agent. If they're looking for new agents to recruit, we can help. If they're looking for a new career, we can help. We can show you how to increase your income by using the 4 pillars. We'll give you the help that you need as needed. We're not asking you to become a captive agent. We are going to be offering you back office support that will save you time. And that's what you want to know. How does all this work together? This was created because when I started my agency, I knew I needed some help. I knew how to be a producer, but I didn't know how to run an insurance agency. I didn't know how to recruit other insurance agents. We'll be glad to share that information with you. Jim Hollinger, give us a call. I wish you well as you learn this presentation. It can be done in a flip chart also.